What is up guys, welcome back to another video here on Motofication NE. And as you can see here, this is my Duke 125, and in today's video I will be showing you how to DIY using a bottle cap to make the tail tidy. Now it does mean that cutting off this section of the tail, it will allow most of the dirt to get into the seat. Probably it will hit me while I ride on the streets, but I am going to attach the stock tire hugger again that I got while purchasing this bike. So I just hope that will compensate for cutting off the tail. And I did research few of the tail tidies that I found out there in the internet. When it comes to the pricing of those aftermarket tail tidy, they are way expensive. They cost around 15,000, 13,000. So why spend that much money just for a piece of plastic where you can spend literally like 0 rupees, you know, doing it by yourself at home. So what you want to do first is take off this number plate holder right here, because we are going to use this later after cutting the tail, you know, to hold the number plate right about here. Just take it off and then keep it aside. And then second of all, you have to remove the tail completely so that we can detach this number plate light right here, because this number plate light has a wire inside right in the middle of the tail, so we have to remove that. So how do you remove the tail? First of all, there are 2 screws right here, one right here. I don't know if you can see this, but there's one right here and one right here, and then there's another one here, and then these 2, and then there are extra ones here, small ones. We have to remove these as well, and lastly these 2. I think we're all clear. Just start pulling a bit by bit, corner by corner. Don't add too much force, otherwise you might break these small plastic clips like this one right here. So yeah, just wiggle and add gentle force. So there's the lower part of the tail removed. I don't think we need to remove the upper part. Yes, I think we can get the wire. Can you see this red plug? Just follow this wire from the parking light, see where it leads to, and it seems that it leads to this red plug right here. So just have to remove this. There we go. And we do need to remove 2 additional screws that is holding the number plate light. Now I did mention from the start of this video that I'll be using a bottle cap to make this tail tidy. So what I did was I hammer it down, like flatten it down with a hammer. It will look kind of like this. So I did punch a hole through it big enough to fit a screw like this, so that it will go right through it. So oh, and also one thing, after flattening it down with a hammer or any flattening tool, you will need to straighten out the angle of the cap. So in my case, I straighten it out with a pair of pliers, like just eyeballing it out, you know, like as straight as possible. It might not be perfect, that's okay. it's not an issue, but just straighten it out as much as possible. So after you've made it into this, what you need is a washer. Put it right in the middle, stick the screw in, and then take another washer, insert it right here, and insert the first nut. Now after this step, you need to secure it tightly, and just to be on the safe side, so that this won't fly off, or this nut won't become loose when you attach it to the to the machine. Insert a second nut for security, so that this won't go loose on its own. Just an additional force that will hold everything in place together. So it will look something like this. So this is complete. We will start attaching my improvised tail cutter, I would say. And as you can also see here, like I've marked the borders right here, or I've marked the tail with this blue tape, just to get an idea, just to create a line, so that I want to make the cut as straight and as matching as possible. Okay, let's test it out. Okay, everything looks good. Okay, let's start cutting. Okay, that's the first part of the tail that we've managed to cut. And don't worry about it looking like this, because it is to be expected, and I will be sanding it down, like smoothing it out nicely with some sandpaper. So the next step is to attach the lower part of the tail, so that we can match the same line as the upper part, and then we will get on with the cutting. Okay, so we are done with the lower part of the tail as well, and this is the top part, and this is the lower part. So it goes something like this. It kind of looks ugly right now, but I will sand this properly. I will cut off these extra bit of plastic that are stuck on the edges. The number plate will be covering all of this, so you won't even notice any of this, but I do want to make it as tidy as possible, so I just finished sanding it. As I said earlier, this is the old number plate holder from the tail, which goes right here. So there were two screws right here, and they were like welded up so that they won't move. So it took me quite a while to remove those two screws right here, but eventually I got them out. So the reason why I had to remove them is because you will need longer screws to reach the plastic right here, and so that you can bolt it from the inside. So yeah, this will go right about here. So we will need to drill two holes around here. So now that holder is been attached, I just want to show you what I did with the number plate holder. So this is the number plate holder. I wanted to use this number plate light, so I drilled 2 screws here and here, and I created a small gap here, like you can cut with a knife or something. Just create a gap so that the wire can enter loosely, and just trim off any sort of obstruction. Like over here I trimmed off, and then for the back part I trimmed off here, and I even trimmed off this part here because it was making the wire bulge out. And I also made a hole right here so that when we attach the plate, it will look something like this. So the wire will go behind the number plate, and this bit right here, insert it through the hole, and then it will come to something like this. So the wire is nice and loose inside, since I've trimmed off some of the excess plastic inside. And this will go here, and this wire will go through under the tail, and the bottom part of the tail will cover up this wire, so you won't see any wires at all. So I will attach this now, and I will show you the end result. So guys, I have just finished attaching the number plate, and I must say it looks really good, especially the tire hugger. You know, it just blends in really well. If you have any questions regarding the process that I did, please feel free to leave a comment below. Do like and subscribe to my channel, because there are lots more videos to come.